Welcome back to another tip for setting up a sound 21st century business. I'm Roberta, and today I want to talk to you about what is this thing we call business. Well, originally, business was thought of as being busy. Now think about it. The root of business is the word busy. And if you think about what many people think of when they think of a business, they think of having something to do, have some place to go to, have something where you have control, but at the end of the day, you are busy. Now, job is within businesses, but a job keeps us busy. And so when most people think of setting up a business, they think of something that's going to keep them busy. Ideally, they think of something that's going to keep them busy, doing something they enjoy, not something they hate. But what else is business? Well, business is a way of making incredible ideas real. Do you know people who just constantly are like, I got another idea, and I got another idea, and I got another idea, and I got another idea? Hey, I hate to tell you, but ideas are really, really cheap. Challenge isn't the idea. The challenge is to take that idea and make it into something productive. Now think about it this way. Where do your ideas come from? You have the ability right now to have a million ideas. You're sitting, you're looking at this program, and things are clicking through your head. You're watching TV, and lots of different ideas are coming to you. But the challenge is to take an idea and actually take and put structure around it, put form around it, actually make it work, make something happen with that idea. Now the bottom line is there are not many people who can take and make ideas real, because it takes work, it takes structure, it takes planning, it takes a lot of energy, some money, lots of time. And so a business is a way to make ideas real, but not many people with ideas will ever have a business or will ever make those ideas real. So what else is business? Well, it's about relationships. Look, the bottom line about business is that it takes two people to have a business. You've got a product, but if nobody will buy from you, then you don't have a business. You can have the most wonderful suppliers, but again, if you don't have a relationship with them, what happens if they won't supply you? And if they won't supply you, then how can you supply your clients, and how can you make money? It's about knowing the community you're operating in. It's about knowing your neighbors. Now, if you're in the online world, that's really cool, but it's still about relationships. Relationships lead to trust. And in today's business world, trust is what business is all about. It's absolutely incredibly critical to have relationships. If you want to be in business today, relationships will lead to transactions the way nothing else will. All the promotion in the world won't lead to relationships. Nothing leads to relationship like the trust and camaraderie and the interaction that's behind relationships. And no, I'm not talking about your mother-in-law now. Nor am I talking about your father-in-law, your sister-in-law, or your brother-in-law. I'm talking about that relationship that exists between two people, one of whom has a need and the other one has a solution to that need. And that's business. It is meeting those needs. It is about listening to the other side and giving them what they need at a price they need, in the way they need, at the time they need, in the package they need. Now think about it for a minute. There are a lot of packages on the market that you don't really want the packaging, but you accept the packaging because that's how you get the product. Why are so many software products, which used to come in these very large boxes, and for all intents and purposes, the only thing in that very large box was air. You had a manual, maybe, if you were lucky, and you had a disk, or you had a couple of disks. Nowadays, how do you get your software? You go online, you do a purchase, software downloads immediately to your computer, you install it. Inside of that software, there is a manual. That manual takes and turns around and tells you how to use the software. Simple. No big box, no big waste. How many other things in life do we have that are exactly the same thing? We want a particular need met, but we don't want some of the other stuff that comes along with that need. So in the world we're in right now, oftentimes meeting a need is about how do you meet that need for the product in such a way that it doesn't create some kind of tension or whatnot. Once upon a time, retail insisted that products had to be square or they had to be a certain roundness. Why? Well, think about it. Do you think retail space is expensive? If you go into a local grocery store and you look at their shelves, what do they try to always do on those shelves? Do they try and fill every single solitary inch, and then the sides and the back and the ends and all the rest of it? Well, in order to do that, they need to have a certain compliance in the size of products. So if you look at most of the products you get, and remember that if you're supplying grocery, you are meeting the groceries needs. You're not meeting their customers' needs, you're meeting the groceries needs. And they will insist on you doing it in a particular way. Same thing with Amazon, with Smashwords. If you're selling ebooks or reports, they will insist that it is delivered in a particular way. So everything today about meeting needs is not just meeting the basic need, but meeting greater needs. How's it packaged? Where is it packaged? How's it delivered? Hey, there's lots of choice out there. So just recognize business is about meeting needs. And with the needs is also the wants. Now, there is another little video on wants, but the bottom line is needs and wants are often used interchangeably in marketing. Why? Because wants actually have a greater market potential than needs do. What we want often is what we buy rather than what we need. But even meeting the needs from the point of view about what business is, even meeting wants, everything is about that transaction that results from a relationship, that transaction that results from trust, that transaction that results because somebody has something and somebody else wants it, and you work out the terms under which money or something else will change hands. Business is also about building teams. It can be teams of people within a company. It can be teams of people outside of a company. It can be support teams. It can be teams of networkers. It can be online teams. It can be real-time teams of people that support what you do and how you do it. So business is often about bringing people together to actually perform a particular service or function. Now, sometimes that service or function will last for a while. Sometimes it's over and done with very, very quickly. But it's still about bringing people together to actually achieve a common end. Business is also about money. In today's world, money is the medium by which we pay for goods and services. And if you don't have enough money to cover your bills and your expenses and put a little bit in your pocket and all the rest of it, you won't be in business for very long. So business is about money. It's about having that resource that will actually allow you to make some things happen. So business is about money. I didn't say profit here, I said money, because the bottom line is cash flow is a lot more important than is just the money and the profit. Many businesses go broke even though they have a profit because they have a very bad cash flow. Business is about community. Oftentimes you will see businesses start in a community because of the needs of the community. During Gold Rush days, the people who actually did better were the bartenders, the brothel owners, and the corner grocery store. Why? Because they met the needs of the community. Yes, all the gold miners were out panning for gold and hoping for the best, but where did they go to get their pans so they could pan for gold? Where did they go to get their shovels? Where did they go to get their pork and beans? Where did they go to get anything? Where did they sell their gold to? All of it was around the people who provided the community. Any small town still has some very interesting businesses that are there to meet the community. I know many communities that still have blacksmiths, that still have harness makers, that still have seamstress, that have plumbers, that have electricians, despite the fact all of the retail, all of the wholesalers have moved to other towns. So remember, business is about community. Business is about the future. Most people set up a business because they want a future, and somewhere down the track, they want to sell it. Now, before you go, but I don't ever want to sell my business, I want you to think, if you don't put in place a way of selling your business or handing it down to someone else, then you haven't actually set up a business. All you've set up is something to keep you busy in the time being that earns you money, and that's not a business. In order for a business to go anywhere, it has to keep growing. There's only two states in nature, green and growing or ripe and rotting. And businesses that have a future, that plan at some stage of the game, they're going to hire more staff, they're going to sell the business, they're going to go through change, actually has a future and is truly a business in today's world. So where's the future on your business? And business is about opportunity. It's about the opportunities that exist for the business owner, for staff, for the community, for the client, for everyone to actually take and chase their vision, chase their dream, make things happen. So businesses serve opportunity. So I want you to think about all of these things and think, in your business, do you have all of these various factors? And what's the opportunity that you're meeting? When we talk about financials, we'll talk about opportunity costs, because there is a cost for every opportunity, and for your business to be successful, you need to meet those costs. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave any comments or suggestions. Tweet this out to your friends and relatives. And please, if you would like to take and learn more, you really want some structured programming, some interaction, I want you to click on mybusinessstartup.net and join the membership program, where you will get more resources, there will be more information, and more importantly, there will be webinars, discussions, mentoring, a number of services that will help you grow a business in the 21st century that will thrive and prosper and deal with the world of today. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Come back soon.